Hello and welcome to the CTO Magazine interview series. I'm Adita Karkera, Chief Data Officer for Deloitte's Government and Public Services. And today I am excited to have with us Chris Kraft, Deputy Chief Technology Officer, AI and Emerging Technology at the Department of Homeland Services. Chris, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Chris, I'm really looking forward to our conversation today, but I thought for the sake of our audience, it would be great if you could share some insights into your background. And, when we were doing our prep session, you outlined your journey that led you to your current role. If you could highlight some segments of that for us.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I started my career in the private sector in consulting, helping organizations implement large-scale systems, a lot of financial systems, and then transitioned to work at some of my clients, including XM Satellite Radio and Sirius XM, where I was vice president over their corporate solutions, and I helped when Sirius and XM merged. I helped bring together all the systems. So I never thought that I was going to actually work for the federal government or for the government at all. And then I went to law school while I was at Sirius XM, and maybe that was what got me interested in something other than the work that I had been doing. But I transitioned over to the federal government, starting with the U.S. Attorney's Office, or the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, helping again modernize systems. And one thing that really struck me when I first started in the federal government was the opportunity that was present, that where technology could really help make the work that we were doing more efficient and save time and free people up to do higher value work. So I saw that early on. Continued to work at other agencies, helping them modernize. The job that I had before this was at FEMA, where I was overseeing their financial systems and modernizing their systems. And it was there that I developed our a generative AI solution, what we called FEMA OCFO GPT, that helped us answer budget questions. We loaded in budget information, and then when a question came in, we would load the budget question in, and we would get a draft response out and be able to iterate outside of the system on that response. And we were very early on in the adoption of generative AI. And so that was an amazing experience, seeing the landscape evolve and how we could leverage the technology. And it just made me so passionate about how this is going to transform the work that we do and how we do our work. And and just the value that it can add to our organization. So that became the first DHS generative AI solution that was in production, been in production since earlier this year. And then in March, I transitioned over to my current position as the Deputy CTO for AI and Emerging Technology at DHS headquarters. Been able to get involved in a lot of really exciting projects and see how we're leveraging artificial intelligence across the department. DHS is 22 organizations, 8 operational components, very diverse mission set, and we're doing a lot of really, really exciting things.
Well, Chris, that's a fantastic journey. And I have to ask, like you coming in from the private sector and now for the last few years with FEMA and now with DHS headquarters, what were the big differences for you between the private and the public sector? I often hear like, hey, data is data, challenges are similar in each
Yeah.
landscape, but what was your perspective there?
I think it's a good question. I think on the one hand, things when I was in the private sector, it was easier to move to be more adaptive. But part of it, I believe, was that the decisions that we were making in the private sector on what technologies to use and how to move forward, they didn't have such a wide ranging impact. When you work in an organization like DHS or FEMA, when you make decisions on systems and approaches to implementing technology, they can have a significant, wide-scale impact to the general public. So I think that's different. The thing that the reason that I stay in the public sector and the thing that has kept me here, I went back to the private sector for a little while, but it's just being able to be part of the mission and being able to help people and do things that I think are really important uh, for government to be doing and leverage technology responsibly. And so it's really the mission and being able to help support the mission that uh, it keeps me very, very excited about the work that I do and the work that our teams do.
Yeah, no, Chris, I see the passion in your voice as you talk about this work, and I definitely share that with you because working in the public sector has a different sense of fulfillment with it, right? Like being close to the mission, knowing that you're actually making a difference to citizens and like to the society. I think that's just so fulfilling, and I think that's why I chose to spend a large part of my career in the public sector as well. So I definitely hear that passion in your voice as you talk about it. Chris, you talked a little bit about your role as the deputy CTO with AI and emerging tech, but DHS is so large and so complex, like you mentioned. Help us understand a little bit around how your role, specifically as the deputy CTO, fits into the broader ops model for DHS.
Sure. So my role is a new role as a deputy. This is a new position, the deputy CTO for AI and emerging technology. I'm the first person to have that title at DHS. So
Pioneer
our
again.
Yeah, our at DHS, and it's interesting as you look across different organizations, where does the AI function reside? In some organizations, it's in the CTO group, and some it's in the CDO group, and others it's in the CFO organization, and at least in one federal agency, HUD. Um, so at DHS headquarters, the CTO organization is working with our chief AI officer to lead our AI efforts across the department. So in my organization, we've got three different divisions. One is our DHS AI Core, which is this new group that was announced in February of this year. And since February, the announcement in February, we've hired 25 AI experts, onboarded 25 AI experts, which I've never seen government hiring so efficient, and it's very encouraging to see the hiring flexibilities that have been made available to recruit AI talent, and the partnership at DHS between the HR organization and the IT organization and others that are involved in making this possible. And then but I'll tell you a little bit more about the AI Core. The AI Core is modeled after the U.S. Digital Service, where we can have a very talented group of experts, technology experts, in this case, AI experts, that can help us on cross-functional teams work on high-priority projects across the department at our components and at headquarters to really bring our use of artificial intelligence to the next level. And I'm really encouraged by what we'll be able to do with these 50 experts that are joining our team. And then in addition to the AI core, we also have an AI governance and engineering division that helps us with our department-wide governance initiatives, including our use case inventories and complying with OMB guidance through under the M2410 memo and safety and rights impacting requirements for our use case inventory and other activities. And then the final division is emerging technology. And a lot of that is artificial intelligence today, but the idea there is that we need to continue to look forward and to what's coming next. And maybe it's quantum or some other capability, or maybe it's just another different application of AI. But having that group, I think, really helps us continue to stay at the forefront of technologies.
Thank you for sharing those key insights, Chris. It's been great talking to you today, and thank you for investing the time here.
Thank you, Adita.
And for all the other listeners here, please continue to follow the rest of our interview series on CTO Magazine as well as Deloitte. Thank you so much.